on the recording. So, like, dude, I've been having all these different ideas on how I want to trade or plays I want to take or like different ways that I've been seeing that I could for sure be like high probabilities of working. And like I haven't really known how to explain it or describe it. So the last few days I just been kind of like marking my chart up with ideas when I think of it. So like, let's see, there's one here. Oops. So like, I think it was on the 32nd. So on the 32nd in live time, right here, right? And I mark this immediately, okay? And this is literally just from like studying ICT stuff so much. But right here, right, where we have bearish market structure, we have liquidity below, we push up, we inverse this gap, we fail immediately, and then we put in this volume imbalance right here. So like in live time, I saw this and considered, hey, I wonder if I could get away with putting a sell limit order in this volume imbalance, right? Oops, bro. So in live time, I thought of that as a trade idea, right? Basically just set a limit right here, and you can see that would have got tagged in and then dumped because our draw on liquidity was still here at the time, right? So our draw on liquidity was 749, which is what we marked out during our last charting session. Back here when we got this 4-hour inverse, remember we said that this looked like it was our DOL. So 749. So when I saw that volume imbalance, I thought of that as a potential trade entry. So there's that. And then another thing for P15 news I was paying attention to is when, and I marked these out in red. So when, and it's just like, obviously it's just theories, right? Like I have no hard data for any of it, but just theories, right? So for the P15, when they appear, whether it's buy or sell entry, but I was experimenting with this, but when they appear on the, excuse me, around at or near the 30-minute close and the 1-hour close, if there's a higher probability of the P15 to work in that direction. So like right here, you see how these P15s, it was, they got taken out right here, but it won before it got taken out. But here there was perfect equal highs, right? And you can see that they formed right at 11 a.m. Right? So those worked perfectly. Then this P15 here, these triggered, not those, but these right here triggered right around the 8 or 11:30 mark. So you see how right at the 11:30 mark those trigger, and then we go down towards our draw on liquidity. So like just in this little 1-hour time period, I marked down 3 potential ways to try and get in to target this low, right? So like if I don't have a good inverse play set up here, right, what are my other options? And that's what I'm trying to work on by experimenting with other ways, is because I don't want to have to rely on inverses. Like if I have a draw on liquidity, why do I need a plus inverse to target this shit? So that is something that I'm noting, is the P15s appearing at the 30-minute mark and the 1-hour mark to see if they are more high probability. There was one right here, actually. So I've been circling them and marking them when they trigger, right? So these two triggered right here, and you see the time is right before 12:30. So right before the 12:30 mark, and then this one hit. So I'm just because imagine if it ended up being on the 30-minute mark and the 1 hour mark, it's higher probability. Well, then you could literally just like hang out and do your thing and just check the chart every 30 minutes if you want. And you know what I mean? Like to see if there's a setup or not. So I'm like, I don't know if it happens every day or not. It's a new thing that I'm paying attention to, but I'm been marking it out. And so then another one is there was another one today that happened that failed. But when it happened, I was like, why on earth would I take this? Oh, it was here. It was here and it almost hit. But then they got wrecked. Where was it? Oh, it was these. So these two triggered right here, right? These two perfect equalize. So P15 triggered here, right at the 11:30 mark. So I almost hit TP, pretty close, but then reversed. So, I mean, not terrible considering our P15 is only a 5-point loss. And then both of these P15s worked earlier today, right? So in the middle of chop, you're getting away with 30 points, which is nice. And then another trade idea I had was when we put in this bearish gap and we kept tapping into it, holding, kept tapping into it, holding, tapping into it, holding. An idea of mine was to put a sell limit order in this gap, right? To see if I can catch a short out of it, because if it's a bearish gap, we've swept liquidity, we have delivery. There might not be an inverse, but like this bearish gap is holding after sweeping this high and delivering out of all of this BPR, right? So like from a liquidity standpoint, regardless whether we have an inverse setup or not, from a liquidity standpoint, it would make sense to come back down here, right? Like, I'm not tripping on that, right? It makes more sense. I like, especially after a giant rip like this, right? Why on earth would we do this and then just immediately turn around? Right? We swept these highs. We're tapping into a BPR. This is gonna get a retrace of some sort. I almost guarantee it. So thought about putting a sell limit order in there. Obviously didn't, but I just am jotting down my ideas as they happen to try and make something of them. And then this unemployment claims, I left marked out. I know it wasn't a data wick, but I always like marking out the highs and lows of data candles, whether it's an abnormal wick or not. I like marking them out for the rest of the day to see how we react to them. And you can see, right? We put in this data candle this morning and price came up, bounced off it, bounced off of it, bounced off of it, traded below, came back up, traded below, came back up. So came down here, bounce off it, bounce off it, bounce off it, traded around it. So like we just traded a lot around this line right here today. And then got a banger 2-minute or a banger whatever minute you wanted to take here at the end of the day. All right, later, man. So I'm glad we actually have some bearish PA though, because now I can actually mark things out. So we're gonna delete this 30-minute. I'm keeping this 9:30 a.m. wick marked out from 9:24. Our draw on liquidity has been smacked, so I'm gonna remove that. We still have this SMT down here. If we look at ES now, we put in a really, really nice SMT down here at the end of the day. So obviously that's something I want to mark out on my chart. So I will. Why is it on the bottom? Do I always have that on the bottom? Or the top? Oh yeah, I do, I guess. Okay. So we got this SMT right here, right? Which sent us up to here. So I'm gonna keep that marked out. I'm gonna keep that unemployment claims high marked out. Obviously this 4 hour needs to stay marked out because we keep bouncing out of it. So 4 hour, oops, busy. So I know that we got a couple of bearish days, but until we close below this 4 hour, I'm still bullish. But I'll still short or long this market right now, like 100%. I will short or long this market, which is great news, right? Like that is amazing news. I'm so glad. So on the 4 hour, looking at this rundown, right? No real gaps to mark out here on the 4 hour. Okay, so I'll just keep this one down. Zooming in on the 1 hour, we did inverse this 1 hour, but closed back below. So that when I see that, that makes me want to zoom in more to see what held, right? So 30-minute, we inversed, but that held. 15-minute, we inversed, but that held. So I'm just going to literally just keep zooming in and find out, okay, yeah, we inversed all this stuff, but what did we hit that made us reject, right? Okay, cool. Finally found it. Here we go. We got this 5-minute gap right here, right? So this is what dropped price down today once we tapped into it. So I'm going to extend this to the right. M5, SIBI. Extend right. Okay. So I'm definitely going to keep that gap marked out. Dude, this is actually nuts. I can't lie. Wow. 265 points just back and forth. Holy, bro. That's fire, honestly. I love to see it. Let me tighten up this SMT. So we have all this LRLR down here, which honestly, I'm not convinced we go after until we close below this 4 hour. So that's going to be my condition, is that 4 hour. Once we close below that, I will know a lot more. But until then, I'm bullish for sure. So dream scenario now, I guess, would probably be, since we have all this LRLR here, and then here now, dream scenario would probably be maybe to have overnight accumulate and engineer, and then maybe we get a manipulation back down into this 4 hour and break this SMT and then get longs. But that's like a little excessive. I would even take this basically at this point. But I'm still going to remain bullish till we close below the 4 hour. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. If we do end up closing above this 5-minute gap, I would expect us obviously to run to here and then probably higher. But I mean, we tagged this 5-minute gap and came down super hard. So I'm going to keep that marked out for now. And then honestly, like, see this unemployment claims candle? Like, you could kind of use that as like a midnight open thing. Like, if we're trading below it to short, we're trading above it to long, because I mean, you can kind of see that that's yeah. I'm just trying to notice more things, man, mark more things, and just trade more ways. So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go take the steak out of the fridge and get it prepped to barbecue. Well, yeah, that'll do it. I will see y'all later.